Bom, 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 bom. Okay, I'm not going to do that for the whole intro. Hello, my fellow Earthlings, and welcome back to a new episode of Virtual Platinum Pursuit. Today we are going to get the Platinum Trophy for the First Berserker Khazan. The trophy list sounds quite simple, since most of the trophies you get for defeating the game's bosses and engaging with the game's game mechanics. This game is a Souls-like game. The only thing I knew about it, that's it's extremely difficult. So that's the main reason we are playing it, to find out how difficult this game is. I thought this game is based on the Berserker anime, but it's actually based on Dungeon Fighter series, which I have no clue what it is. As I said, this game is a Souls-like game, but unlike in other Souls-like games, the main mechanic here is the parrying mechanic. So you're supposed to learn the enemy's moveset and parry them. So it feels more like Sekiro than Dark Souls. The other main thing is that the game has different difficulties. The main difference in this Souls-like game is that you can pick up your EXP, don't beat the boss successfully. So if you get far in the fight, you get some amount of lacrima or this game's experience, and you can pick up that lacrima and invest into points. The game also only has 3 different types of weapons. All of these weapons have their own skill tree with their abilities that I'm not going to go into. This is the main idea. You use these 3 weapon types, and you can also somewhat customize your character, but the customization I wouldn't say is super deep. I don't want to go too much depth into the game mechanics. I'm just going to show off some trophies that I popped on my first stream, because early on the game you get a bunch of trophies for engaging with the game mechanics. It seems that way, okay. I'm assuming... Okay, that locks on. That's going to... Okay. Already a trophy? Cool. Okay. Oh, what? Huh? Taking damage until... Oh, exhaustion. Okay. Use. Okay, so... Okay. Okay. I'm getting all the trophies. Whoa. Okay, so that's like... normal mechanics. Do I like... It's like a Sekiro mechanic. But that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. I mess it up. Why am I getting so many trophies? I don't even know what are these for. Upgrade. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what I need. Like, I'll just do this. I'll just do that and... Really? Really? For upgrading a character we get a trophy? Really? Combat feels very different. The combat feels definitely a lot different. What's this? Ow. Huh? What? What did I even unlock, huh? Tears of the Soul, huh? Dude. Oh, I did it. Okay. Finishing strike. Oh, cutscene. That's probably our first boss. No, that's just me. Okay. Oh, big Yeti looking thing. Cool. I guess we'll see how strong the enemies are, or the bosses. Music's epic. Whoa, he has a lot of health. Because your back is full with spikes. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? I hate that. What? Okay. I don't have anything. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Peace at last.
Damn. Okay. Oh, wow. Run out of stamina there. Okay, that was the wrong button. Oh, come on, man. What are you even doing? Okay, I destroyed the spikes on its back. Oh, dude! Can't believe I fell for that. You really like doing that. Nice, he's dead. Or not? Huh? Oh, okay, he's doing the... Or he's doing this. Dude. Okay, I again pressed the wrong button. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. I know it's the first boss, but it was fine. Skill points. Oh, okay, we have a skill tree. Okay. We have a few skill trees. Okay. Okay. Guard deal damage to enemies when... This is also good. You just guard and... Yeah, I'll take this. Oh, wow. Another trophy. So many trophies. Wow. I love it. I love it. Oh, we have a new... Is this better? It is better. Yeah, we have this. We have a ring recommend. Yes! Dude! So many! So many, I just keep getting them. Yeah, I am a certified trophy hunter. I know what I'm doing. Oh, I look so cool now. I look so cool now. Damn. But... okay, so we can aim... Okay. Sure, let's... Dude, I'm just playing the game. Why am I getting so many trophies? I'm guessing that that's just for doing this. Whoa. Dude. What's... Okay, this is a thing I can destroy. Alright. We are made it to phase 2. Dude, that's annoying. Should not hit me. Ow. Dude. Whoa. That was way too close. I got you. Come on. Don't you wanna fight? There we go. Dude, I don't know how to do that properly. I should probably just dodge it if I can. All right. Come on. Why are you running away? You know I can beat you. Just a bit more, and we got him. Okay. Yep, that wasn't too bad. As you see, you can convert your weapons and your equipment into lacrima, so you can farm EXP like this, not just by fighting enemies. Another game mechanic is that you can equip different types of phantoms. This gives you different kind of buffs. The more you use the phantom, and if you collect some artifacts, you can unlock more of its abilities. These are just buffs, but they are definitely useful. So if you have one of that suits your playstyle the most, you should definitely get their artifacts and max out that phantom. You can find soul stones on the stages. These are upgrades for your character, so you heal more or you get more lacrima. Oh yeah, this second boss fight, I don't really remember this being too hard. I know it's a two-phase fight. This first phase, this dragon with the double spear, you get to fight it later on as a normal enemy encounter. If this wouldn't be recorded, I wouldn't even like talk about it too much, because I don't remember struggling against this fight. I would say that the bosses, at least most of them, are around the difficulty as Gwyn, because you have to learn how to parry them. Except in this game, most of the bosses have some kind of status element as well, but we'll point out those later when we get to fight them. The game actually has two types of currencies. One is lacrima, the other is gold. Gold you can use at this NPC to buy some gear or to upgrade your weapons at the merchant. At these red orb looking things, you can summon a spirit that you can fight. I thought this was a player that you fight, but it's just an NPC that's quite strong. You don't need to beat it for the trophy, you just need to fight it, which is a bit silly, but yeah, we take the easy trophies. I'm not going to complain. I do remember this next deer looking dude with his axe or hammer and needle. He has, I guess he's the first boss with his brutally strong combos that can just destroy you. He also has this fire status element, so at some point if he hits you, you just get the fire status and you just die. I wouldn't even say I was able to beat these boys on my first playthrough without the spirit. There's a trophy to beat all the bosses without a spirit, but at this point I wasn't aware of that. But I'm sure this would have been the point where I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother with that, because this fight is just ridiculous. That even if he hits you, you get the fire status, and later on in the fight he can cover pretty much half of the stage in fire. As you see, there is like an area that's higher up, there is an area that's down, so he covers, depending on where he is, that area completely in fire, and you can't stand there and you just die and you don't have a good time. So you either run up or jump down depending on where you are. He has some other attacks where he covers an area with fire for a while, it depends. But yeah, this is definitely a hot experience. He has attacks that can get reflected. I don't think I talked about that mechanic. You can, as far as I know, reflect even more attacks if you can time that attack correctly. That's your main way to deplete the enemy's stamina bar fast. I can't tell you which attacks can get reflected. I just pretty much fought these bosses blind and learned to fight them my own way. So I just reflected the attacks that were marked properly, and the rest I parried. So there's that. No. He just makes new moves as we fight him. Like, sometimes he just does stuff that I have never seen before. Like that he turned around and just bit me. And he was locked onto the other... At least it seemed that way, that he was locked onto the other character. I don't know. Dude. That's nice. Cute. Yeah. That's very good. Bro. We are destroying him now. I mean, he's going to regenerate. He's not going to have a lot of health left. I know I could have used that later, but it's fine. Yeah, he's dead. Nice. Oh, wow. That was way harder than it should have been. The spider enemy did have poison too, but this bear dude isn't strong. There aren't really a lot of enemies that you can destroy their body parts. I think there are like 2 or 3, I don't remember. But this boss fight, this bear one, wasn't really challenging. He did give us a hammer that we can use to upgrade our weapons some more. So I don't think I upgraded my weapon, I just sold one here at the blacksmith. But yeah, you get a trophy for that as well. We got 2 easy trophies here. Some side quests, like this is a unique one where you put some jars. After you are done with this quest, on every stage you have to collect the jars for another trophy. So this is something you have to keep your eye out. There are lanterns you can buy. So the lanterns, some show hidden areas of the stages. Some give you some unique buffs where you can kill the undead enemies instantly, so you don't have to kill them twice if you fight them. Yeah, I definitely remember this dude. He has, as you can see, the fire status element, which is annoying. And he has some earthquake attacks where he jumps up and pretty much instantly kills you if you are close to him or you don't guard it or don't parry it. He has some wide range attacks with his crossbow, but he has some close range attacks with his combos that you can parry and reflect. So that's the idea, that you stay close and either parry his attacks or reflect the ones that you're able to. For me, the hardest one was the attack when he jumps up and starts shooting fire all around the place. That's the attack that got me the most, but other than that, yeah, I was doing somewhat okay against this boss fight. He also has an ability to instantly get his stamina back, and there isn't really much you can do about this if he decides to do that. There are multiple bosses in the game that can do that. Yeah, that's so much fun. But the next one is no joke, because this is one of those bosses that almost made the quit the game. This is extremely difficult. So he has two phases. In the first phase he just uses his two big swords, and he's somewhat slow, so you can somewhat predict what he's doing and parry him. In the second phase he uses a new status element, which is Chaos. Chaos depletes your max HP bar permanently if he gets you in that status element. Not just that, once you're in the chaos status, even if you like guard an attack, or I don't know if you parry it, but I did notice it, if you guard an attack you lose your max HP. This is one of those fights where you just have to either reflect his attacks or parry them perfectly. There is no room for error here. But the good news is he only uses Chaos in the second phase, so the first phase you can finish off pretty easily. In the second phase, as far as I can tell, when he's using the katana, there's a higher chance that you get infected with Chaos, because he has a grab attack, he uses some attacks that are just very off, like he will just get you with those very weird timings, if that makes sense. But once he switches to the two big swords, for me it was a lot easier to parry him and get a few more hits in. So yeah, this took a while to defeat him. This was one of those big difficulty spikes.
In the beginning there was only darkness, but light was born. Human desire was born. After a millennia, a kingdom rose. A prince was born, and a princess was born.
But the good news is, once you beat this boss, you unlock your transformation. While you are in your transformation, you don't lose your HP, you just only use your transformation gauge. So you can tank more hits and you're a lot more powerful, and the game gets somewhat easier. I'm going to show off how it feels to be powerful in this game once you get used to its crushing difficulty. I also should have probably done this a lot sooner. Crafting more powerful gear. I'm sure that would have helped in those difficult boss fights. The silence is... We just... Oh, whoa, okay. What? We just fight silence now, okay. I cannot tell what's going on. What is this? Oh wow. It's like I'm not even doing damage to it. This does not feel right. I don't think we are doing damage to him. Wow. He can just destroy all my stamina. What? Damn. That's insane. Well, we are doing damage to it. What? How? What did I even do? What did I even do that I did so much damage to it? I don't know. But I killed it. That was lucky. That was lucky. What? That was lucky. Okay, what's this? Oh, a trophy. Nice. Who are we fighting now? Oh, I guess we are fighting her. Like she's going to be evil for no reason. Or be infected by chaos. Oh. Cool. I mean, how bad is this going to be?
Look at me. The chaos has her. Her soul is being distorted.
Oh, she's losing a lot of stamina. But I guess this is just phase 1. Nice. Maybe she's just a weak one. Or maybe I'm just supposed to fight her alone. That she gives me a challenge. Oh wow. The music is so epic. It is just so epic. Oh wow, we are destroying her. Like the previous boss was so much harder than this. And I can't even transform. I don't even think I will need to. But there is no way this doesn't have like a phase 2 that's absolutely going to be nuts. Nice. We are destroying her. I think that's the point. This is like a tragic fight that we have to kill our best friend. That we barely had. Well, we had some character development for, but it's fine. We see firsthand what chaos does to people or something like that. I don't know. And she's dead. Well, that was easy. That was very easy. I think this giant monster is the first one that uses the plague status on you. So the plague status is pretty much the same as the poison status, except if you lose all your stamina during the plague status, you get exhausted. So your character can't move for a while. And that's a bad time, because these bosses can take a huge advantage of that if your character can't move. So this is something that... this is one of those fights where you just don't want the plague status. There are some items, like all of these elements have items that counter them, so they decrease the chance that you get the element, and you can also make armor or accessories around that, so you get even a lesser chance that you get either the fire status or whatever status element the boss uses against you, or you just can get good. This is just a side mission that I destroyed without any effort, but what I didn't mention so far is that you can revisit any of the stages that you played and fight the bosses again. So that's also a way to get better equipment, because the bosses drop pretty much the best equipment that you can get, or they drop an item that you can craft for better equipment. So I think that's the idea of the side quests, that you replay them, you get the right drop, you can craft a better weapon, then you can try the next mission. The next boss I fought was this squid waifu. She has the freeze status element, which is, I would say, pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't freeze you completely, it just slows you down. The strongest attack that she uses is this attack where she fires you from far away with these water arrows or whatever they are supposed to be. Once you learn how to dodge this attack, this boss fight is easy, so you don't need to worry about this too much. Yeah, I talked about this before. At the blacksmith shop you can craft some items. Some of them even buff your attack stat or defense stat. These are different buffs. These are the items that help you with the status elements. I didn't use them because they didn't last long enough. I would say the accessories are better because those effects are at least permanent, even if they are not as strong. The next boss is also somewhat easy. It's this necromancer lady that summons different kinds of undead creatures. The most difficult out of them is the Reaper, or the Reaper looking thing, because once she summons that, she gets a force field. You can't really hit her, she just flies away. You're supposed to kill the Reaper, but the Reaper summons other undead creatures as well. You're not having a good time. I got lucky here, I'm going to be honest with you, I just got lucky. I got to kill her before she summons the Reaper, so yeah, this fight just went that way. I don't think that's supposed to happen, but it happened, so yay for me. But we hit another big roadblock on our journey, and this boss is no joke. He has the plague status. This is one of those bosses that just has long brutal combos. He has 2 stages, like you see. I even switched the weapon here so I can hit him more easily. With these dual wielding weapons I was able to do that attack where you jump up, and once you land down I pretty much always hit him, even if I was behind him or in front of him. If you're trying to hit him from behind while he's carrying his coffin, you're pretty much making no damage, like he just doesn't care. So you're always supposed to hit him from the front, which is not fun because his attacks are just brutally unfair. So outside of the long combos and the plague status, he also likes to jump on the coffin and cover a big area of the stage with his attack. I would say I don't even know what he does. He has a few grab attacks where he puts you in the coffin. I don't want to go too much into that because this boss just has that unique fighting style. This fight took me a whole day of practice, but I finally beat him and we can move on. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, this guy has a second phase or a third phase or whatever you want to call it. That's even more aggressive than the first. For me, I got somewhat lucky here because I was able to use the transformation here and take most of his health down. So yeah, he is more aggressive, but you can do more damage. You can't deplete his stamina here, but you can still stagger him when you do the reflect right or just parry his attacks right. You are just trying to stay out of his way when he does his crazy combos or he just has a phase of this second phase where he just tries to grab you and inflict the plague status on you, and you're not going to have a great time. But as I said, the good news is if you hit him, you're going to do a lot of damage, so you can finish him off somewhat quickly. And the moveset does overlap, he's just more aggressive. I think he has some unique grabs here, but you can tell when he's grabbing you, so this can be done. It's possible, as you can see.
The prince grew up. So did the princess. But since the princess was born first, the kingdom was promised to her. After a while, the prince fulfilled. He was the new ruler.
This wasn't any challenge at this point, I just finished this boss up quickly and got a trophy. But next we get to fight this boss that looks like Millennia. And she has two phases she switches from. The one is focusing on magic, and the other one is like super fast and just destroys your stamina bar. While he's doing the magic attacks, she has like a shield around you, but you can still do damage if you hit that shield around her. You get a feel for the magic phase because you just know how her magic follows you around, and when you can hit her with your combos and when you can stagger her and all that. The other phase is when she's using her sword, and she's super fast, like insanely fast. Like you can barely keep track of her, so sometimes you just guard and hope for the best and you can parry her. She does have the lightning status element, but she killed me before I got the chance to get inflicted by the lightning status element, so that's, at least for me, wasn't something I needed to worry about. While I guess we are here, the lightning status element, if you have it, your stamina depletes a lot faster, like you are able to do a few hits and you have no stamina and you're stuck with no stamina. This is like one of those bosses that you can learn pretty quickly, and I'm sure after that we are pretty much ready for anything. Like, what could possibly be so strong? Yeah, after fighting that dragon with two swords or dual wielding, I definitely decided that I need to switch back to the spear again, and I got back after making a super strong spear, and I finished off these few quests I was missing that I was still able to do in this area. Yeah, this first boss that's glowing red, if he hits you, he absorbs your HP. You encounter mini bosses like this. Normal bosses that you fight in the game don't really have this, but there are some mini bosses or like side bosses in the side quest that you face off. The idea is just don't get hit. Even if you transform, if he hits you, he gets healed, but at least you don't lose HP. Yeah, I started selling off some items here at the merchant so I can upgrade my weapon even more. It definitely paid off because I did struggle against these side bosses, like these red ones that glow and steal your HP. But yeah, as you can see, I destroyed their stamina and I can stagger them quickly and got these trophies, well, somewhat easy, a lot easier than I would have expected. And with this upgraded spear, I was actually able to do some damage against this giant dragon. I wouldn't say he's super strong, like, yeah, he can one-shot you, but if you don't get hit, that doesn't really matter, right? You just don't get hit, you just get good and parry all his powerful attacks. In the second phase, yeah, he does the chaos tornadoes and the chaos breath and all those crazy chaos attacks, but you just avoid it and you're fine. I'm joking, of course, but yeah, you can do this. This is somewhat easier than the other chaotic boss fights. This dragon just has a rhythm to it. Once you learn his phase 1, his phase 2 isn't that scary. One attack when he charges you from the sky with his back and one-shots you. So that's the one attack that was problematic for me. The other ones, like, yeah. Have I told you that the side missions like to reuse bosses, and sometimes you fight some bosses in a row that you already fought before multiple times in the side missions? I mean, I know this doesn't sound too exciting, but at least at this point I was strong enough that I could beat these side missions with little efforts. Even this stronger version of the spider boss that you can't destroy his limbs and it's back. Wasn't a problem. Even if there were 2 bosses before it, I needed to fight just to clear out this one mission. Here I messed around with the weapon I was trying to make and changed the abilities that are equipped to it. We had a trophy for that, so I'm like, sure. Easy trophy. Not going to say no to an easy trophy. The other thing you can do, you can feed a weapon into another weapon and make one of them stronger. The game is kind of picky what weapon you can feed into the other one, even if they are like the same type. Yeah, this is something you can do to make your weapon even stronger. And these last side missions weren't any challenge at this point because my weapon was super strong, my armor was super strong. I just knew how to play this game and counter all of these enemies, so these last few trophies I got very easily. And yeah, at this point we only have 2 more story bosses to beat. I just want you to listen to this music a bit because it is super epic. Like at this point I wasn't even upset that we got another 2-phase boss fight that can use chaos and these walls that you can't go through or you need to destroy with your weapon, and she throws chaos spears at you. This is probably the most fun I had fighting any boss in this game. This was very satisfying. This was one of those moments where I knew how to play the game. I had a character that's pretty much maxed out, and yeah, we just had a good time fighting this boss, so I'm not going to do too much depth into this. This was just very satisfying and fun. We still need to do some trophies. The first one is to get all the jars, and the next is to get all the nether stones. This is probably the most time-consuming trophy because nether stones, they can be multiple in one stage. And the jars, I think there are like only 1 jar per stage, so that's not too bad. It's just time consuming and I would say somewhat boring. At least for me it was, because I did this right before the final boss fight. There was this quest I could do where you find this merchant. You need to find him in order how the story is progressing. I found a few locations, but you're supposed to find him in a specific order and you get this trophy. And the last collectibles are the ones that reveals Ozma's past. The locations of these boats, or whatever you want to call them, did get changed. If you want to pick them up, you have to find the newest guide. Ozma is no joke. He has like the largest moveset out of all bosses. So you just have to learn how he fights. Like, I just knew he would do that ice attack, so I could do a strong combo on him, and how to dodge that chaos spear, and even these strong short combos I knew how to parry or guard. And if you do everything correctly, you can stagger him relatively fast, even if you don't have a spirit around. The spirit definitely helped. Once he summons this fire attack, the spirit just dies. The spirit just likes to stay close around and try to hit him no matter what happens. This parry attack, it makes sense at some point. You just know when you need to reflect him, so you can stagger him. He has 2 AoE attacks. This is the easier one to parry or counter or to dodge. You have 1 frame to dodge it, or whatever it feels like, 1 frame. But we got a big combo here. Once you stagger him, you can do a large combo and take a huge chunk of his health down. The wing attack, the last one, you need to parry perfectly so you can stagger him again and do another long combo. I pretty sure I invested as much as I could into strength tier. That's why I'm making so much damage, and the spear is also like powered up as much as I could. Yeah, as you see here, I just learned this wing attack, and I just knew when I could parry him, and if I stagger him, like he has that red thing when I can do the stagger attack, I get all my stamina back and I can do another combo. You see, I did that perfectly. That just was perfect. But at the very end, he just likes to do this chaos tornado. I got super lucky here. He had no stamina. I could just once again stagger him and do another combo and push him into phase 2. Phase 2, he always starts like this with this combo where he flies away and you can reflect if you do your attack at the right point, and you can like stagger him more with a cute combo. Then he sometimes does the serious punch. If he hits you, it's fine. You can if he hits you with the second serious punch. If he hits you with the first one, then you're not fine. But the second one, if he hits you, you can parry him. If he jumps down with these wing attacks, you can also like parry him and stagger him. The claw attack, you just hope you dodge. If he hits you with that, you're dead. The wing attack, you dodge. At least I did. That was the easiest one for me to deal with it. As far as I can tell, you can't stagger him after that sword attack, but I depleted his stamina, so I was like, okay, another stagger here. He does the chaos laser with the chaos orb. It is easy to dodge, but the orb stays around. He has like a few orbs there, and he does his combos. He tries to push you there. If you parry him, you can also like stagger him once more. Like at the very end of his combos, he does that strong attack where he tries to either take all of your stamina down with that strong attack. If you don't parry him right, if you parry him right, you stagger him and can do a few hits. Yeah, I didn't do that correctly. Like you can see there perfectly how easy it is to lose this fight. But somehow I survived with like a hair of health there. I got super lucky. I dodged a serious punch, you don't dodge the second one. But that's fine. You never really know what he's going to do next, you just have to learn his moveset. But what's guaranteed, at the halfway point he flies up and he starts to do these chaos spears. If he hits you with any of these, you're pretty much dead. Like, yeah, you see how much damage it does, and even your stamina is gone. The last one shots you no matter what, so good luck dodging that, but I got somewhat lucky there. I could even heal and stagger him and hit him. And I dodge away because when he covers himself around with chaos, he hits you. I'm not sure how much you can hear that cue, but there was a grab cue there. He summons chaos tornadoes. You can just run away. You're fine if he does the chaos tornadoes. But he does try to push into the chaos tornadoes with his combos. I got hit there with the second serious punch, but I could stagger him. Like, you just barely recovered, at least for me, I barely recovered, so I could do the reflect, or no, it wasn't a reflect, the parry for the serious punch. And that one I don't even know how I parried. I just knew when he was going to hit me and I parried him. The arrow is the most dangerous one. This can one-shot you. like the arrow hits the ground gets an earthquake, he launches forward, he does a sword combo, this sword combo can also kill you, that's why I just transformed here. I was like, okay, you have to have a bit of control here, even if everything is so out of control and crazy. And he does his wing attack, but he switches into the serious punches that we already know how to counter. And we're almost done here. Almost done, but he has one more trick up his sleeve. But we get to stagger him and get some extra hits in and do some extra damage, and he is almost dead. But yeah, when he is almost dead, he does his chaos egg that he absorbs and gets some health back. But once again I got lucky and I could finish him off before he does that. And we get into phase 3. Yes, there is a phase 3, which is very similar to phase 2. He's just more aggressive. So if you learned the phase 2, you are fine here. You know how to dodge and parry his attacks. But yeah, at the beginning I was not doing so well here. I did slowly regain control after transforming, because if you transform it doesn't really matter. And I got more cocky, and once you see, yeah, this is more about survival. Like once you hit him, you do a lot of damage. If you hit him, you take down a lot more stamina. We saw this attack before. One of the attacks you didn't get to see, where he does the chaos orb, and it has its own gravitational pull, and he pulls you closer to it. I reflected that perfectly. I didn't even know that it was coming, or maybe I knew. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But he's almost dead, so we are going to just let the end of this play out and listen to the epic conclusion of this fight.
Why do you stubbornly refuse to understand? Khazan, I'm sorry. Ozma.
Now I only got 2 trophies here. One was for beating the game on the hardest difficulty, and the other one was for beating the game. You also get a trophy for starting a new game plus, so I was like, okay, let's just pick up the last trophies I'm missing in New Game Plus, which you can do relatively quickly if you switch to the female Khazan skin, because the game automatically skips the story scenes if you use that. And I'm going to show off, because you're supposed to talk to an NPC after you collect all of those notes you need, and after you do all the side quests, you make sure to talk to this NPC and select the option that I selected. I must know the truth. As far as I can tell, this was the only thing I was missing for the secret ending. Like, I did collect everything, I just didn't select the right option here. That's why that ending was missing. And if you don't select the right option, even if you replay this mission, you don't get to pick again here. So you have to do another playthrough where you do all the side quests and everything. But I could do everything on easy, so this didn't take too long. So the last 2 trophies, yeah, I did do them on easy, but at least I got them and got to enjoy my overpowered character and destroy all the bosses in the game.
The king has attacked another kingdom, but he lost the war. He lost everything. After a long drawn-out fight, he lost the war. His name was forgotten. His kingdom was forgotten. Everything he fought for was forgotten.
You know, I don't really believe that I was a prince and you're a princess.
This place is nothing, yet it's full of possibilities. You know, if you leave an apple in vacuum, after it dissolves, it will reform into an apple again.
Yeah, of course you would give a response like that. But there is something else I want to know. Why do we share the same name? And this is pretty much the end of the video here. It was a crazy journey for sure. It's hard to describe in words how difficult this game is, how challenging it is. I don't know if I can recommend it to anyone. I would rather recommend that you play it on normal first, that you learn all the boss patterns and everything, and then try to beat the game on hard mode. And even after you beat hard mode, you unlock another difficulty, so the game gets even more difficult, but there's no trophy for that, so at least we don't need to deal with that. But it's definitely a fun experience if you want a challenge, but it is very brutal, and there were multiple parts, like at least, as I said, 2, where I just wanted to give up, and I was like, yeah, this is just not worth it. I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all very, very soon.